Hello there, it's me, Fagenstar, and welcome to the first part of my first tutorial series. So, this series will cover making a low poly 3D warrior cat character model. Um, we will cover the initial design concept, modeling the character, texturing the character, and rigging and doing a simple walking animation. In this first episode of the series, we will cover simply creating the initial concept, the design sketch of the character. So for this purpose, I have created this mood board here with various images for designing the character. When making a mood board for designing a character like this, one thing that I find that can be good or useful is trying to get images that are helpful for each has an aspect of part of the character's design. Like, for example, this character is supposed to be a stocky, russet colored cat with amber eyes and a ginger mottle on its fur. So I have russet colored cats. I have cats with amber colored eyes, uh, stocky looking cats, a cat with a ginger model, and even some images of like dappled sunlight. Since for the character itself, I would kind of like the model to sort of like replicate the sunlight reaching through the leaves of the forest onto the floor, since this character is named Forest Wind. Now, the inspiration for this character came from this little prompt thing that I got from Generator Claw of BotClan on Twitter. So I got this prompt and I thought, it would be kind of fun to use that for a tutorial series. So here we are. All right. So for the let's get into sketching this character. Going to make a new layer just to maybe make the mood board a little bit less disruptive for when I start sketching. Okay, so if you're following along with this tutorial, and it's fine if you want to use like a base or whatever. I mean, do what you want, but what I'd recommend for if you do decide to use a base, to use one that looks as closely to the character concept that you want to draw, because that is very helpful. It is a lot harder to model off of a concept art that does not look like the character that you are trying to model. I know this from personal experience. Okay, so anyway, let's get right into this. Now, I'll admit I'm not like a supreme expert on drawing cats, but it doesn't really matter, because like as long as it looks enough like the character concept, doesn't have to be perfect. So, but yeah, let's just get into this. Get the pause. Wait, maybe that. Yeah, make sure to sketch things out first, so that just in case you make a mistake, it'll make it easier to fix it. Gotta remember, it has very kind of stout legs. They're a very stocky type of cat. They make their leg a little bit thicker, and then their hind legs. And let's move this so we can draw in the character's tail. Now I kind of like want to give this character kind of like a nice, thick, fluffy kind of tail, so draw it like that. A bit fluffy and thick. So then let's edit this little image a little bit. Muzzle is getting a little bit cut off. Right? Add the muzzle. Now, when drawing out a concept for a character, I would recommend going with a very neutral pose, since it is much easier to model a character based off of a neutral pose than it is to model a character that is posed, because with a more neutral pose, you can generally get more of the design put out, and it's easier to read the character's proportions and how they match with the other parts of the character's body and get the model to look right than it is when a character is posed, because oftentimes when you're posed, parts of your body will conceal other parts, especially with more dynamic posing, which often include perspective, which makes it much harder to get the correct proportions when modeling a character. Okay. Add ears and eyes. Let's not forget the nose and the mouth. Now, of course, like, just doing a very basic sort of like go over for like character design, usually in like proper professional character design, like the character will be drawn in all sorts of different poses with expressions and such, but since this character is, just it's just supposed to be like a simple character done for a modeling tutorial. It's not really like a character for like a cartoon or a movie or a show. So if you want to go more in depth with your own character design and sort of like flesh it out and iterate it, you can. It's up to you if you want to do that. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm gonna keep it simple. Right, now with the sketch done, I'm going to get started on the line art. Now, you may notice for this drawing, I've only drawn one of each leg and one ear. That's because I intend on having this character be symmetrical, so there isn't really a lot of point to adding the other ears and stuff. I can forego those parts. Okay. Now, going to add the color. First thing I like to do when I add color to my sketches is make a layer beneath the line art and then fill it in. I usually use a bright color that contrasts well with both the black of the line art and the white of the background. Now we will add the color palette. One thing that having visual references can be helpful for is when making the color palette for your character, because then you can color pick off of your visual references. For the character's design, I kind of want it to look sort of like the model is like sun, light hitting its back, and then sort of traveling down the body, breaking up. To exaggerate the fading sunlight effect, I'm going to give this character sort of like a darker underside. So I'm going to give it on the ears. And that is Forest Wind. Now, next part of this series will be modeling the character. I will provide, if you wish to use my design, I will provide a link to that in the description. And if you wish to use this mood board to create your own design, I will also link that in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.